is Lisa from Stumbles and Steps, and wow, did I sound perky and way more awake than I actually am. I am headed off to work as usual, running a couple minutes late as not usual, but usual for lately. It seems like that did not used to be how it is, but that's how it is lately. So anyways, this morning I was thinking about my fitness routine, or lack thereof one, a little bit. So I used to have kind of a fitness routine. Well, no, I did have a fitness routine. I had struggled like with my weight for a long time and like feeling out of shape and stuff. But I actually I was in dance classes through like my childhood, and that's something I always super enjoyed like as a hobby or as a way of home fitness. And I actually was, for one of the first times ever, in a super good routine of working out, like mostly cardio. I'll admit I'm kind of a slacker on the weight training, because cardio is fun. Let's like be honest about that. Like, I mean, it's dancing is fun. So anyways, but I mean, getting up, you know, one of those people like setting my alarm for an hour and a half before work or whatever, and getting up early and working out for 45 minutes, finally in a routine like that, like still wasn't where I wanted to be weight wise, but I actually felt like in pretty good shape and strong and energetic and stuff like that. And then my pain happened before that ended up being the cancer. But that was one of the first. That was one of the reasons I ended up going to the doctor when I had pain in my ankle for a long time. Was it eventually, it got bad enough to make me stop working out in the morning. And then I finally was like, well, I've had it. And then obviously the rest is history. But since then, I've not had a workout routine. Not really. I have like physical therapy exercises that I still do, even though I'm a ways out from the last time I was in physical therapy. I still try to do those sorts of things on a regular basis. So like I do some things. It's not like I don't do anything, but I have not got back to like cardio. I've not got back to weight training. I actually still use TheraBands when I think I'm pretty much maxed out on them for my PT exercises, when for a majority of them I could definitely switch to weights. And it's not a matter of could I resume these activities. I know I could. Oh god, my allergies still, my gosh, driving me nuts. Welcome to spring in northern Minnesota. But anyways, and it's not a matter of if I could do those things. Of course I could. I mean, I see on the internet, I've looked up amputees and amputee workouts. I see people running triathlons. Triathletes and triathlon. Yeah, okay. I mean, granted, some of them probably were triathletes before their amputation and they're getting back to where they were. But I'm guessing that there's at least one or two out there who weren't. And actually, as a matter of fact, on that amputee support group page that I go on Facebook that I've mentioned, there is a woman who is, I believe I'm 49, I believe she is a couple years older than I am, who she looked to be in very, very good shape before her surgeries and whatnot, but she was not a weightlifter, and now she's like a weightlifter who goes in competitions and whatnot. So, I mean, I don't know who I'm trying to convince here, me or you, but obviously it can be done. I'm just not doing it. I am talking about how I'm getting there, and I just got to get back into a routine, and blah, 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 blah. All different excuses that I'm currently making. I need to just do it. I know that I can do, like, I know that there's certain dance workouts, for one thing, shout out Gina B, but other just like fun dance routines that you can find online. Oh, excuse me, my gosh, my allergies. But anyways, they are ones that I used to do that I pretty much had some of them like memorized. They were like my go-to, my usual kind of like warm-ups, and I know that if I do them now, it's not going to look the same. So I don't know if that's what my issue is, which is a weird issue because it's not like I was a professional dancer. Like, I'm an overweight mama in her late 40s, you know, like, I'm not kidding myself that I've been anything other than that for quite some time, amputation or no amputation. So I don't know if, like, my knee doesn't bend. I have more motion than I did when I had this, like, a suction style. Like, I haven't even talked about, like, my prosthetic and all that. But for those who might be amputees, or people who have knowledge about amputations, I currently have a pin lock style leg, which actually gives me a little bit more, like, ability to move my knee. Like, I had a video yesterday where I was in my office and I showed through my pants what the outside of my prosthetic looks like, and there's kind of like the hard plastic that pokes up around my knee. Well, that allows it to kind of be open in the middle and to mostly bend, though it's not like a real smooth motion. And I noticed that when I do things like walk downstairs is probably the biggie I hate. Hey there, it's me again, hopping back on my lunch break. This morning on my way to work, mid-conversation, my phone went dead. Probably because it was plugged in last night, but only charged for a few hours because our power was out for a good portion of the night. And it was out for a good portion of the afternoon, so I didn't have it plugged in before that. So yeah, I'm still thinking about the fitness thing. I'm probably thinking about it even more because now it's 61 degrees outside. The sun is shining. It's like it's so bright I might actually have to put my sunglasses back on even though I'm just sitting here. And it's like that feeling where you're still like, well, it's time to start wearing like spring and summer clothes and start wearing shorts and thinking about the beach and all that stuff. And all of us know, regardless of our situation with our limbs, that if you are not feeling your best, you are not going to be feeling any better in a swimsuit. That's for sure. So I'm self-conscious about the weight and in general not just feeling my best physically, or feeling that I look anywhere near my best physically. That combined with having to go out there and, you know, being an amputee with a prosthetic leg and feeling self-conscious about that as well. Well, I mean, I can't do anything about that. There's not much. I wish I could. If I could grow back my leg, I would definitely already be working on that. But the one thing I can work on is myself. I can work on both making myself feel better physically by committing to maybe more of a routine, or at least keeping up with the walking and adding onto that. And also by my husband always like wants me to not care so much about what other people feel, which I'm not sure that's kind of a tall order, but it is also, that is something else that could be worked on. So yeah, that's about it for that. I'm very tired. I'm probably even a little bit more scattered than usual. Yesterday it was very, very windy here, which is terrible because we have some wildfires burning, and one is actually scary close to the area where we live. But anyhow, So with the wind, a big tree fell on a power line. If I can figure out how to, I will insert a picture of that in here. And then so the power went out from that like 2 o'clock, but I wasn't home, so it didn't concern me too much. I get home at like 5-ish, and then we went walked the dog and whatnot, and they got it back on a little after 6, so no big deal. We're able to have our regular evening, because like I live in the country, so as other people who live in the country know, and some people know and some people are shocked to learn, like me when I moved to the country, if your water goes out and you have a well and a septic, you do not have water, including to flush your toilet, if you do not have electricity. Yes, good times out in the country. But like I said, luckily it came back on. Everybody was able to take their regular evening showers, everything like that. And then sometime in the night it went off, or they turned it back off to continue to work on something that maybe it wasn't totally fixed. And then if you ever wake up, like, isn't it weird how you wake up from the power going off? Like, it gets, like, too quiet, too still. For me, the instant thing is the ceiling fan goes off. And the second that goes off, there is literally no air at all. So, I don't know, finally, like, 3:15, it came back on. And I have smart bulbs that I've been really excited about replacing lights one by one with smart bulbs, setting them up to be automatic, and it's nice to be able to turn them on and off when you're not home, and blah 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 blah, until 3:15 last night, or a.m., when our power came back on and all the smart bulbs came on. Like, so a lamp in the bedroom, a lamp in the living room, 3 outside lights, a porch light. I mean, like, all these lights are on. The carbon monoxide detector, which is also supposedly smart, so-called smart, is beeping because something's, like, not resetting on the base. Like, it took everything finally reset, not till after I got all mad and started to get up, put all my stuff on, just go to the basement and find out why it's beeping. And then my husband, so then he got grumbly at me, but then he got up because he knew I didn't really want to. Then, of course, right when he got down there is when it basically reset itself. So I had a hard time falling back asleep, and my alarm did not have a hard time going back off at 3:15. But because of all that, my phone wasn't charging most of the night, just for a couple hours, and I don't think I even had it on my, like, fast charger. I just had it on a regular wall charger. So that's the story of our dramatic no power evening. Also stopped at Aldi's at the beginning of my lunch hour, and they've had such cute Disney stuff, and cute mini Mickey t-shirt. Minnie. Yeah. Totally adorable. Okay, time to go back to work. Bye.